Hey there, YouTube. This is Travis McDaniel here. I'm going to be doing a series of beginner guitarist lessons. This is lesson number one. I'm going to assume that you're an absolute beginner in this lesson. We're going to be talking about the notes on a guitar, where they're at, and what they are. So let's go ahead and get started, I guess. Each one of these strings is assigned a number, starting at 1 here at the bottom, going through 6 at the top. So 1 through 6 going this way, just so you know what string I'm talking about whenever I say the number. We're going to start by playing an open number 6 string, which is an E note. Number 5 string, A, 4, D, 3, G, 2, B, 1 is another E. So let's go ahead and add the notes in vertically across the neck this way on the first 3 frets here. We're going to start with that because this is where you're generally going to be playing guitar as a beginner. And then if I have enough time in this lesson, we'll talk about moving the notes horizontally across the neck this way. We're going to start with an open E. Also, before we start that, I want to discuss each one of these frets needs to be fretted or fingered with the corresponding finger. So first fret, first finger, second fret, second finger, third fret, third finger. It's good to go ahead and start doing that as a beginner so you get used to it later on. Also, let's talk about alternate picking real quick. For each time I pluck a note, I'm going to switch the direction of the pick. So if I go open down, then I go ahead and finger a note, I'm going to come back up on that one and just back and forth throughout. So let's go ahead and go through the notes. Open E. I'm not going to sit there and talk about first fret, first finger. I don't think this stuff's very helpful. I'm just going to try to make it visible for you, and so you can follow. So open E, F, G, open A, B, C, open D, E, F, open G, A, open B, C, D, open E, F, G. And what you can do is just go ahead and work on that. Try to build up a little speed on it so where you're doing it a little bit faster. So a great way to warm up your fingers and get them moving around anyway. And whenever you get to the bottom, go ahead and try coming back. Okay, so that's going vertically across. So let's go ahead and discuss the pattern going down. And before we do that, I'm going to talk about a rule. E and F, the notes E and F are always going to be side by side with each other. And that goes the same with the notes B and C. So we're going to start with an E, F. We're going to go up a whole step. A whole step means 2 frets up. Anytime I go 2 frets up, that's going to be a whole step up. If I go 1 fret up, that's going to be a half step. So every note, or every time we move up, it's going to be a whole step other than for the notes E and F and B and C. They're going to be a half step apart. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. we're going to go to the fifth string, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And you'll notice that the open string, we end up on the same note every time here on the 12th fret. It's starting back over right here. Let's go to the fourth string, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Third string, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Second string, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Bottom string, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, I know, that's boring. It is. But doing this now is going to help you greatly later, I promise. So work on that. Next lesson, we'll go ahead and start talking about doing some chords, and we'll get you guys heading in the right direction, start playing some songs. I don't think it'll be too long before I can have you up and running and playing something. So work on that. It'll, like I said, it'll greatly help your movement of your fingers across the neck, and just don't give up. Don't get frustrated. Playing guitar is awesome, so it's worth the struggle at first. Also, another thing before we go to the next lesson, I want you to do this at least a couple times a week or a couple times a day, hopefully. Pretty much every single day. I want you to take your right hand. I want you to put it between your fingers. I want you to push down and stretch your fingers. Do this between each pair of fingers a couple times a day. This will help get your fingers stretched out so you can start making long grabs here and stuff later on. It's just something to go ahead and do now to save you time later. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. I'll be back with lesson number 2. We'll be talking about some chords and, like I said, getting you ready to play some music. Alright guys, be good.